From a consumer perspective, Howdy is, or acts like your sidekick. Howdy is there to guide you when you join a community, which could be when you join a new company, it could be when you go to a conference, or any sort of community. Howdy acts as your sidekick to point out the best people for you to meet. It does that by using data that you've populated LinkedIn with, from your activity and preferences, from meeting people in the past, and therefore highlights a list of names, generally breaking out 3 recommendations, the best 3 people, but then every single individual will have a personalised list of names for them to meet. From a business perspective, it's a place to host your community. For a conference organiser, it's the premise that they've gone to great lengths to get everyone in the room, and then if they don't use Howdy, everyone leaves and that's the end of the conference. Whereas actually if they use Howdy, they have a place to continue the conference, albeit in a digital space. So they can capture people and then deliver content, keep the conversation going, rather than people breaking out, setting up independent WhatsApp groups and people don't have visibility and the continuity. Or it's meeting someone at a wedding, being introduced to someone at a wedding who was transitioning from real estate to a very traditional background, and he'd found a passion for technology and was starting to make some angel investments. He talked to me about this. This struck a nerve because I had been consuming more and more information and being increasingly inspired by generally Silicon Valley at that time. And so he went about introducing me to some startups that he was involved with, and that's where my journey started. The origin of Howdy is 5 or 6 years ago now, so it took us 3 or 4 years to feel that the market conditions were right for us to launch the business. But it was sitting with my brother in coffee shops that had become de facto co-working spaces. Lots of people with laptops open, salespeople, entrepreneurs, people nursing coffees so they could use the Wi-Fi for as long as possible. Sitting there thinking, any number of these people in the room are potential collaborators, but we're not going to go around the room. It was the Pret a Manger in central London that we used to spend a lot of time in. We're not going to go around the room shaking hands with every single person to find out if they were someone that we could collaborate with. The biggest challenge to date, and still is a challenge, is our positioning. I think people like to pigeonhole, and especially saying that you serve a particular industry. And given Howdy is about building communities, any industry, every industry has subsets of communities within them. So talking to a hotelier, talking to an oil and gas company, talking to a tech business, they all want to understand what traction we have so far and what businesses we've served. And if we refer to another industry, then that confuses them. So we're sort of navigating that at the moment. I wanted to be an entrepreneur for so many years and was scared. I was scared of failure. And thanks to, again, Silicon Valley culture sweeping across many nations now, this understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, that it is feedback to success, stepping stones absolutely required to get to success. I think having overcome that because of another fear of regrets, and fear of having regret, I think every morning now when it is very hard, or I wake up at 3 in the morning with a sort of subconscious weight of anxiety or pressure, it takes me just a moment to reflect and remember how I would not want to be doing anything else. I mean, the companies that I most look up to, I think about big and small at the moment. Airbnb, probably for obvious reasons in terms of the cultural similarities that I think Howdy has, which is community building. A very small company, actually I don't know if it's for profit, I guess it's not for profit, is Be My Eyes, which I think is just the perfect, simple use of technology, the mobile phone. And Be My Eyes is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a blind person has their version of the app, and if they are struggling to make a choice, for example, because they have two sweaters which are the same colour but the same texture, they can use Be My Eyes, which then sends out a ping to all of Be My Eyes members, of which I think there are 400,000 now. And somewhere in the world, someone can respond and video link and immediately give an answer to that hard of seeing or blind person.